I don't know if there's really anything in this particular release that's revolutionary. Recently, there have been leaks online about the upcoming GoPro 9, which means I have a lot of opinions. If you know anything about me and this channel, is that I use action cameras and 360 cameras as much, if not more, than I use drones. Now, this is a GoPro 7. However, I have a GoPro 8 that's lost in a river somewhere that I used extensively before I lost it in a river somewhere. This is a GoPro Max, an incredible 360 camera that also does some of the features that the GoPro 8 does. This is an Osmo Action, which came out shortly after the GoPro 7 did. There are new cameras always coming out every year by new companies, giving GoPro sort of a little bit more competition than it used to have. So in this video today, we're going to talk about what's been leaked about the GoPro 9 and if that is enough to make you go from a GoPro 8 in exchange for a GoPro 9. I want to give props to WinFuture for somehow acquiring these leaked photos. When looking at these pictures, the first thing we notice is the new packaging. It looks as if GoPro's gone into a simpler design, but more complex at the same time. And what I mean by that is it looks like they're now sending you sort of a carrying case right out of the box. If you're on the fence about upgrading your camera or jumping into the GoPro line, make sure you watch this video, and I'm going to give you my opinions on if I think GoPro is going the right way with this release or if they're sort of dropping the ball. Besides updated packaging and a carrying case, it now has an LCD screen for front-facing vlog style content. That is a huge advantage that the Osmo Action had up till now. This might not be the best action camera, but it has definitely turned into an amazing vlogging camera. To be able to put an external mic onto it and having that front screen that can do 16:9 or full frame, it makes it great for setting up shots when you're out there filming by yourself. And now GoPro should be able to do the same thing. But with GoPro's internal color profile, we all know it's going to look amazing. Every single camera they put out, the color profile, the color science that they have locked in just gets better and better. From the 7 to the 8 to the GoPro Max, the quality in the GoPro Max for only being able to do 1080 in hero mode is mind-blowing. I love this camera. But with that front-facing camera, it is going to give you the opportunity to use it to set it up to make sure that you're getting the shot that you want and need all alone. You don't have to have someone else setting it up for you to make sure everything's in the frame the right way. If it wasn't for this camera doing this feature, I don't know if GoPro would have actually included that on the GoPro 9. What you get for the cost of this camera is really a pretty damn good deal. So the Hero 8 has a 12 megapixel sensor inside of it. The Hero 9 is now rumored to have a 20 megapixel sensor inside of it. So if you are someone out there that takes still frame photos with your GoPros, then this is definitely something you're going to be wanting to check out more when it comes out. As you can see on the box, it has a ton of the same features that it had in the GoPro 8, though we're now going from version 2 to version 3. So instead of just coming with Hypersmooth 2.0 like the GoPro 8 has, it has Hypersmooth 3.0. They're saying it's supposed to be almost, if not as stable as a gimbal. The GoPro Max is already more stable than a gimbal. Go check out that video there and notice how incredibly stable this is as I do a side-by-side comparison showing you how this works with horizon lock on next to a GoPro 7 in a gimbal. Hopefully Hypersmooth 3.0 has a horizon lock like the GoPro Max. It's also coming with Time Warp 3.0, which is basically just a time lapse in motion. So what that does is you can get a smoother time lapse or hyperlapse because you're moving from point A to point B. It's a pretty cool feature, and if you haven't already tried it, then I would suggest if you have a GoPro with that feature, try it out. It's a lot of fun. They're saying it's going to be waterproof up to 10 meters, 8 times slow motion, and 1080 of course. It's going to have 4K, 60 frames per second, but it's also going to have 5K at 30 frames a second. The majority of us still don't even use 4K. And that can be a video all on its own. I've talked about this forever, but if you are new to the channel, let me quickly sum this up. For most of us who use YouTube and use action cameras for YouTube, the majority of our viewers are watching on smartphones and small tablets and things like that. For those of you watching on a TV, say 40 inches or higher, 4K starts to actually benefit you way more than the guy watching on his iPhone or his Galaxy or whatever phone you actually have. Now that doesn't mean I don't sometimes use 4K, so it is nice to have a 4K camera available that's pocket size. But I truly think GoPro sort of dropped the ball just a little bit by pushing for the numbers game versus pushing for the ultimate camera. Just like the GoPro 8, it's going to have data overlays, GPS and things like that. You'll be able to use it with voice control. They have almost doubled the battery size. They're jumping all the way up from 1220 on the GoPro 8 to 1720 milliamps for the GoPro 9. So I'm not sure yet if that's going to give us a much longer record time or if that's just to power that extra screen and they needed it to be able to keep it from having a shorter record time. It's going to come with a webcam mode, which is something GoPro just recently updated the GoPro 8 to be able to do. It's also going to be able to be directly plugged in and used as a 1080 live streaming camera. And one of my favorite things that it looks like the new camera is going to come with is a removable lens cover. That's right, it looks like GoPro listened to us and they've gotten rid of that irreplaceable lens cover that they did on the GoPro 8, and they actually have given us back the opportunity to remove and replace it ourselves. The GoPro 7 was released in September of 2018. The GoPro 8 was released in October of 2019. I'm guessing somewhere between now and October, we're going to see all of this information come out and get confirmed or denied, and we'll know 100% what the price is. The GoPro 8 came out at about $399 when it was brand new, and there are rumors saying that this one will actually cost slightly more, $439, due to that front-facing screen and the bigger battery. That's a lot of money for an action camera for a guy that's already owns a ton of different action cameras. I don't know if there's really anything in this particular release that's revolutionary. We've already got cameras with screens in the front. We've already got cameras out there with stabilization that smoke a gimbal. We've even got cameras that can be taken apart and put back together like a brick of Legos. Now don't get me wrong, a lot has changed since this little bad boy came out many years ago. Every single action camera that you see is based off of this guy right here. But did GoPro really step the game up with this release? I'm sort of disappointed because even the back screen on the new GoPro 9 in the pictures looks like it's pretty much the same size as the GoPro 7. Even the Osmo Action, which sells for half the cost of what this GoPro 9 is supposed to release for, has a giant back screen. I just don't get how GoPro couldn't bump the size of the screen up. I really hope that if it's over $400, that front screen is actually a touch screen as well. Because on the Osmo Action, it's not. And that would make it a step above what's already out there. But is that really worth $400? I am so bummed at what I've seen so far with the GoPro 9 leaks. They are not what I was hoping for whatsoever. For the longest time, the leaks were all talking about how the next Hero 9 would actually be an all-in-one camera, something that could really compete with the One R. Right now, the One R and the GoPro Max are sort of the competitors against each other. This is a modular camera. To be able to make it switch back and forth to 360 to an action camera, you have to actually take it apart, put the pieces together, and put it back together. This one is actually an all-in-one camera. You can switch between 360 in hero mode. It does have a much better stability and a much better color profile than the GoPro 7 or the 8. The rumors were all that it was going to be an all-in-one unit, that it was going to basically be everything that the GoPro 8 could do and the 360 function of the Max could do in one camera. Let me tell you, that would be a game changer. That is one of the coolest things about the GoPro Max. I actually use this thing in hero mode, shooting in 1080, 60 frames a second, more than I use it in 360 mode. When I want to switch to 360 to get a certain shot, it's as easy as tap. Stability in hero mode. It is game-changing stable. It makes a gimbal seem shaky. That's how stable this camera is. Can the 9 do that? Maybe. We'll see soon enough. If they had come out with something that was an all-in-one unit that would smoke this guy, I think I would have dumped every last dollar I had in GoPro stock. So from what I see, the GoPro 9 is not anything revolutionary. If you're on the fence, wait and see what GoPro releases to push this product, to show what it can and cannot do. Wait and see if there is something we're missing out on. Maybe that little slot on the side. They've moved the USB slot from in the battery door over to the side. Is that revolutionary? Not really. So what really is the revolutionary thing in the GoPro 9? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let me know if you think it's worth the money to spend that on a new action camera. If there's anything you've seen yet in this camera that makes you go, or if it just seems like another minor step up in the action camera game. If you are one of those people that goes 5K, the number's higher, then also let me know in the comments below. There are people out there that really do need that higher resolution. And if you're one of them, let me know what you use it for. If it's not YouTube, because we all know that on YouTube, it's just not really needed. So let me know, let's the discussions roll, and I'll see you guys in the next one.